everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Karini, and today I want to share with you how I'm using the Getting Things Done method by David Allen in my planning routine. So this method seems to be very popular in the planning community. However, I first heard of it not too long ago. So backing up just for a second, I used to use one planner before 2022, and I used mainly to track my work days off, home tasks, and appointment. That was pretty much it. So in the beginning of 2022, I decided to try ring planners and I fell in love with them. And the reason for that was the fact that I could customize it. So with the different sections, I started having the inbox, which to me the term was new. And please keep in mind, I'm not from the US, so something that you grew up hearing, maybe I didn't. But anyway, even though I understood what it was in my planner, I knew I could find a better way to use it. Like my sticky notes, my notes, everything would go there, but overall, I was still not processing them the best way that I could, and I didn't know how either. So that's when I decided I had to find a way to get more organized, and that's how I came across the GTD method. So I first heard about it on YouTube. Then I went ahead and ordered the book from Amazon and started reading it. And once I started to understand a little bit more about it, I started looking for inserts to help me with the process. So if you have been watching my Plan With Me videos, you probably have seen how I keep like my home tasks, everything that I have to do, like laundry and stuff like that. You probably have seen how I keep them organized. So I just needed to find a way to become organized on everything else I have to do. So before we move on with the video, I just want to say that I am not an expert on the Getting Things Done method, but it has been helping me to stay more organized, and I want to share that with you. And honestly, I highly recommend the book, and it's linked on my Amazon storefront down below. So I will talk about the book, the method, not about the book, the method, and I will show you how I'm using it and the inserts I found as well. So the Getting Things Done method rests on the idea of moving all items of interest, relevant information, tasks, projects, everything out of your mind. He says that if it's on your mind is not clear. So anything you consider unfinished in any way must be captured in a trusted system outside of your mind. A system you will often go back to it and sort things through. So David Allen says that the reason something is in your mind is that you want it to be different than it currently is, but yet you haven't clarified exactly what the outcome is. You haven't decided what the very next physical action step is, and or you haven't put reminders of the outcome and the action required in a system you trust. So in my example, I didn't have a system. I was having things out of my mind, but it was into pieces of paper, sticky notes that were everywhere, like seriously everywhere, on my wallet, on my desk, my inbox, my pockets, and that was not a system my brain trusted. So in the book, he says, between the time you woke up today and now, did you think about anything you needed to do that you still haven't done it? And I was like, yes. Well, then he says it's a waste of time and energy to keep thinking about something that you make no progress on. So it only adds to your anxiety to keep thinking about what you should be doing but aren't. And that is very true. Like I find myself thinking about things I have to do and my mind is cluttered often, and it makes me feel anxious. So he gives us 5 steps to follow. He calls them the 5 steps of mastering the workflow. So we capture whatever has our attention, big or small, it does not matter. Then we clarify what each item means and what to do with them. Then we organize the results, which will give then options to reflect on, which then we will choose to engage with it. So for the capture step, he gives us multiple options, and I chose 3 for myself. One of them he calls physical in tray. And I chose this one since I don't have a huge amount of stuff to process. Like, you know, if I get something in the mail that I have to do something about it, I'll just put it here. You could use something like this as well, but it will really depend on how much stuff you must put in tray. So maybe you need a 3-tier one. You know, it really depends from person to person. So I also chose to use paper, which is my planner. And sometimes if I don't have my planner with me, I will use notes on my cell phone. So he says that to be successful in the capture phase, we need to put every open loop we have in our heads into the capture system. We must have as few capturing buckets as we can. Like for me, I chose 3: in tray, paper, and cell phone. And we must empty them often. So for me, when I have what he calls open loops, I will write straight to my inbox. But what if I'm not home? Then I will add a note on my cell phone or on my everyday carry planner, you know, which is the planner I carry with me. So then I will transfer to my inbox when I get home or when I review my system. So basically when I review my system once a week, and he recommends to do at least once a week or often, I will look on my planner, the one I carry with me, on my in tray, and on my phone, since those are the options I chose to have as my capture step. So this is the inbox I'm using, and it's from May Paper Co. I bought it as a GTD bundle, and just to make things even more clear, I don't use the same insert on other planners to prevent having things everywhere again. So I will use notes. For example, let me just show you on my everyday carry. Like on my inbox, I have a trigger list, and then I have notes paper. Now that's all I have. These two I already captured and I put it right here. And this one, since it's not highlighted, it's something I captured, but I haven't done the other steps. So in this case, if I'm not home, I will make a note and then I will transfer. So after I started using this method, I realized my sticky notes were not the problem. The problem was I was not doing the rest of the 5 steps. Like most of the time, I was capturing, but I wasn't clarifying, organizing, reflecting, and engaging with them. So when I was reading about the 5 steps, I thought that would be a lot to process at once, but then I continued to read the book, and I got to the part of the book where he says we can separate these stages. He says that there will be times when we only want to collect and not to do anything about it. And other times we might just want to process our notes and so forth. So he says that one of the major reasons people haven't had success with getting things organized is because they try to do all 5 steps at one time. So let's just say I have captured everything. So here's my inbox. I have captured everything, and now we want to clarify. So for the clarify step, it will be easier if I show you this. Let me use this one so I can keep the inbox open. So let's say I have everything in my inbox. Then you will ask, is it actionable? If not, you will trash it, get rid of it. You no longer need it. But what if it's something that it's useful information and you might need it someday later? Let's say you just got exams, like medical exams results. They actually don't even send them in the mail anymore. But let's say you printed them out. I don't know, anything, a manual. Let's say you just want to keep as reference, then you would do this next step. But then let's say it is actionable, but not something you would do right now. Then you would put it in someday. Don't mind the numbers right here. I will explain why they're here, and you might do it differently. So I'll tell you later. So let's just say, as an example, what do I have in my someday? And here the inbox is separated by calendar, next action, waiting on, projects, someday, maybe, and then reference. So let's just see like this one. Okay, I want to paint my planning room. I want to paint the walls white. So if you go to my someday, it will be here. But if you see, it's not, it doesn't have a check mark. So that means I have captured, I decided what to put, and someday when I'm ready to do it, I will get to it. And then I decided to use a mechanical pencil and an eraser because I was having to like use whiteout, or when I was using my friction, I would have to erase all the time because I was getting used to it. And I found myself, wait, maybe that's not a project. Maybe I should just do this now. And and you will find a way to get used to it, and you will use whatever you think it's best. So if something is in my inbox and I decided to put on someday, then I will check mark with a highlighter. And I thought about highlighting the whole thing, but that's not gonna look good to me and it's gonna bother me. And this way I know, like for example, in this page, it's very clear to me that this one, I haven't decided what I'm gonna do with it. Like for example, set up my VDS personal. I don't know what I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna, I was thinking about maybe having it as my faith planner, but then I thought, do I wanna carry with me? I'm like, no, I don't know if I wanna take that planner out, of the house. So anyway, I haven't decided yet, and that's why it's not check marked. So continuing this. So let's just say, you ask yourself, is it actionable? And you say yes. Then you have a few options. You can do next action, which is like you will do it as soon as you can, or you can put it on your calendar, which David Allen says that only time-specific actions, day-specific actions, and day-specific information go on your calendar. Nothing else. And to be honest, for me, this part was easy since I already didn't write anything, like any to-dos on my calendar or on my weekly besides my chores, like laundry, washing the dog's blanket, things I have to do every week like that. Then I do write it. And if you have seen my plan with me, you have seen it. But other than that, I don't. So the only thing I always put on my calendar are my appointments, birthdays, special dates, and that is part of what he calls time specific, day specific, and so forth. So, and one of the reasons I never like to do that, like to write my to-dos on my weekly or monthly, is that I would have to rewrite them all the time on the following week if I didn't complete them. So what he says in the book is, he says the next actions list will hold all the reminders. And then let's just say it's actionable, but it takes less than 2 minutes. Just do it. Get it out of the way. Get done with it. And then let's just say it's actionable, but it takes more than 2 minutes. And let's just say, for example, I need my light switch, one of the light switches here in our home, to be fixed. I don't know how to do it. I don't know who to call. So if you have something like that, you can delegate it. For example, my husband will have to do that. So I'm waiting on. So if you come here on my waiting on, and just so you can understand, first it comes to the inbox. Then I will transfer to waiting on. So fixed light switch. And then when he gets it done, I will mark it right here. And then let's just say it's actionable. It takes more than 2 minutes, but it has multiple steps. Then you'll start a project planning. And I do have a project section right here. And I will show you all the inserts as soon as I am done just telling you a little bit about this. And so waiting on projects, I think I went through calendar, do it now. So we went through everything. And I honestly don't look at this anymore. So I will just show you like how I use it in my planner. So the inserts, they are from May Paper Call. I got it as a bundle. It comes with this paper you saw, and it comes with the inbox, next action, someday, waiting on, and projects. So these are the ones from May Paper Co. I have 2 other ones that I will tell you how I use it and where I found it. So just recapping, everything comes to the inbox, then you decide what you're gonna do, then you transfer to, if it's next action, you're gonna do as soon as you can, so it comes here. And if you see on my inbox, everything is pretty much checked, marked, right? Except for this one, and I still have room right here. So once I write the whole page on this side and everything is complete, I will take the page out of here. I'm all done with it. And it doesn't mean that I have done everything. It just means I decided where they go. For example, when I go to my next action, I have a few that I decided it was coming here, but I haven't done anything about it yet. And then here you can decide what sections you want. I have social media, which is like my Instagram and my YouTube, Etsy, planning, personal/home, and then puppies. And they will stay here until I check mark, and then once I fill the whole page, I will take it out of here. Then let's say it's something for someday, no action now, but something might need to be done later. For example, books to read, recipes to try, movies to rent, anything that you might want to do later, or go learn Spanish, whatever it is, it goes on your someday. Then once they are completed, I will check mark, and then I will highlight it. And then the waiting on, like I said, something you are waiting to hear back, or you are waiting for someone that said they were going to help you and do it with you, whatever it is, it will be on waiting on. Then I decided to have a project separated from everything, like a whole new section, just because I found myself having a lot of them. So then we go to projects, and these are multiple steps. And let me show you what I have been using for when I have to write more, like it's a lot of steps. So I will put them here, and let's take a look at one of like that I have completed. For example, organize my planning room. Then when you come here, organize my planning room, and then you have a space. This is from Infinite Lotus. I do have a discount code with them, and you can find the link down below. So I love this because I can do brainstorm. I can put here like what I want to get with this. Like I wanted a peaceful place to plan, organized, no clutter. And then here the to-dos. So here's what, like order organizers from Amazon, buy shelves from IKEA, or I need a chair from IKEA. And then once I complete them, I will check mark. And on the back you have a lot of space too. And then here is another project. Let me just show you. They will be on my project list, and they will be in order over here. So I could remove this from here because it's all complete, and I'm thinking about it since now that I switched planners, like this one is the VDS, and I have the Moterm that I used to use it the same as A5. I can put there for some time, and then when I think I don't need it anymore, then I can throw it away. But let's just say this one, for example, YouTube video, set up a planner with freebies. I have done this video is already out, so I could probably remove it from here. But I also wanted to leave here so you could see it. And this one I did write a lot more. See, I had a lot more stuff, like I was brainstorming about inserts I needed to get, or sections I was gonna have. And then this one, set up my videos personal wide. I haven't started this one yet, so they still here, and that's why it's not marked. So one thing, if you are wondering how I made this, yesterday I was just finishing putting everything in, and I was like, okay, I need a tab for my planners, like when I get to this, not planners, projects, not a project list, but my projects. So I had the vellum I made, and it's actually on my Etsy shop. So I had it a print out as vellum, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make it with this vellum. So I still had a piece of this that I had printed when I set up this planner, and I laminated and I made this tab, and I used my label maker to do the label. And it's just easy to come from the project list into my projects. And then one more thing I want to show you. I found myself, like you can see, this one I had multiple steps. This one, I actually already put this video out, and I didn't really write anything here, which I should have. I brainstormed, but I didn't put my to-dos, and I already did the video. And I was trying to get used with the process, so now I'm like doing it much better. But for example, this one, when I set this up as my catch-all planner and then I did the video, I had a lot to do's, but I did find myself sometimes not having a ton of to-dos, like this one, the video I just posted, try traveler's notebook for journaling. I had a lot to do, so these are amazing. But what if you don't have a lot? Then it would be a lot of waste of paper, right? So I went to Etsy and I searched for projects or a GTD, and I came across this insert, and this one is from Perfectionism Prints. I hope I'm saying it right. And the difference between this one and this one is, if you can see this, it has a bigger space right here, and then it gives you 3 steps. And I know I could have done this, like I would write the step here, like I would write the project here, and I could use these lines. But my brain works better if I don't mix them up. Like if I don't, you know what I'm saying? If I don't use this line as something part of this line. That's how my brain works. So for this one, for example, I want to do the GTD Method video, and I only had 3 steps: order the book, find inserts, and apply to my planner. So this worked great, and I'm actually gonna check it off. Status, I'm just gonna do the same thing I do with all of them, and I am used to doing, when I do 2, it means it's completed, but I'm gonna use the highlighter, and this color is perfect because it's not too dark, not too light, and it's the 942. So this will work perfect, and then I will have one of each. These are the projects I have multiple steps to do, and these are the ones I only have 2 or 3. So they'll be together. I have more of them in the back that I can add if I complete these pages. So I hope this video was helpful. Of course, this is just an overview. I highly recommend reading his book. I loved reading the book. I love how it's working for me. Like my mind, now that it's not cluttered with so many things I was remember all the time that I have to do, it just feels more calm and much better. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope it was helpful. Thank you so much for watching and for being here, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.